Hi, Emmanuel here with T2S, and T2S stands for Transformed to Succeed. In this video today, what we do, I'm gonna show you how you can set up your GitHub Actions. And when you talk about GitHub Actions, we're looking at GitHub itself. So GitHub, it's one of the version. Sorry about that, not version, version management tools. So we have GitHub here. So on GitHub, this is where you get your GitHub Actions to work, which implies that you are eventually gonna need to have your you're gonna need to set up an account with GitHub. So I'll take you to GitHub right now. This is the official website. And on that official website, what you need to do is just to, first of all, the link is, or the URL to get there, it's github.com, and then you can see it on top of the browser or the screen there. So you see the browser tab there, github.com. This is where you go to get it done. In other words, you're gonna also need to sign up. You have to either sign in case you already have an account, or you just sign up if you don't have an account. And if you want to sign up, you just click on you're gonna have to click on here. So you click on sign up, and you're gonna have to enter your email address here. So you enter your email address, and then just follow the prompt. Click continue, and then follow the prompt, and you should just get it done. It's very, very self-explanatory, very easy to do. But in my case, I'm gonna sign in because I already have an account. And since I have an account, I'll just go to the sign in there tab, and then my password has been already saved. All right, so what we want to do now, of course, you will not see what you see now as you look at the screen, but that's because I've done a lot of work with GitHub, and you have different repositories here. So you can click here to create a new repository, which is something that I want you to do, or you go here, click on your repositories, and then you find the same green button here to create a new repository. So I'm gonna click there, and I will call it T2S demo project. So I'll just call it. You can give it any name that you want, and GitHub will search the database to see if this name is available. In my case, it is. Okay, so keep everything as default. Don't do anything else rather than just come to the bottom of the page here. Come to the bottom of the page, click the create repository. So you click there, you're gonna see, you're gonna land on this page. And don't do anything here. Don't refresh, don't do anything. Just leave it as it is. But what you have to take good note of is this here. Because on our local machine, I'll guide you and show you how you can create a directory with the same name. So now let's go to our directory. So we go to our directory or our local machine, and I'm using, in my case, I'm using Visual Studio Code, which you can download from the internet. So if you go here, open a new browser and just type in Visual Studio Code here, and click on the first one here, and here you're gonna see a lot of you see on the top here. So here, go to the far right, and you go here, you see the download, because this application has already identified my operating system. It's a Mac. I'm using a Mac OS. In your case, it may be Windows or Linux, but you can click here to see the other platforms here. Here you have Windows, you have Mac. In my case, your case, in your situation, you may probably be using Windows. You have Debian, Ubuntu, then you have Fedora, SUSE, and Red Hat. So use whatever you need to use there. And back to our Visual Studio. So what you need to do is to create a directory. You can use your command here. So like terminal. And then here you see I've already created mine. You can use this command here, create, make dir. Then you type whatever name that you have decided to give to your GitHub repository. So in my case, I will not create one, but to just give you an example, you would do something like this, project, and then press enter. If you ls, you see it's here. So now here's the way we're gonna structure our entire file system. This is our working directory. So what we want to do, we are here. This is a work. This is where we start from, right? So we start from, and what we want to do first is to create a directory that we're gonna name get.github. This is following the way the process is structured on GitHub. And then in this directory, we're gonna create another directory that we're gonna name workflows. Okay. In the directory, we will create a file. We're gonna give it any name, but it has to follow kind of like the name. It has to have this extension YAML. All right. So back to the root here, we will need to create. We need to create a Docker file, because in our case, for our demo, we'll be building a Docker image, and to do that, we need a Docker file. A Docker file, it's a file that helps us define the kind of Docker application that we want to provision. And then the next file that we need to create, it's going to be an index HTML file. And the reason why we need an index HTML file, because this is going to be a web application. So this is how we will structure our environment. Then after doing that, we will do a few things here. And then the few things that we will be doing, it's what exactly GitHub wants us to do, which is on the website here. On the account when we created our repository here. All right. So we will use these commands here. So we're gonna first we will stage. So first we're gonna stage. We will stage, and to stage, for us to stage, we use the git add. So we'll use that to say, okay, we're gonna stage everything in here. But before we do that, we will need to initialize our working directory. All right. So we're gonna have to initialize, and we initialize by using the git init command. So that'll be number one, and then number two, we stage. Number three, we will have to commit. So we will commit by using the git commit command, and we can add a message here. So we're gonna do that, and then next we're gonna kind of like decide on what branch to use here by using this command here. So we'll say, okay, so we're gonna stick with the main branch, and then in production you don't go straight to the main branch. You first go to the feature branch, and then you're gonna request a merge, which will be reviewed and approved by your hiring your manager or somebody, or a supervisor or somebody on the team who's been assigned to do exactly that. And number five, we're gonna get remote. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take that remote repository and then add it in our environment. So we're gonna use this git remote add origin. So we're gonna take that from there, and then this will, and then we take the URL here. Okay, and then finally that's when we push. So we're gonna have to push everything that we have to our remote repository and to this specific branch, the main branch. So that's the an overview of what we'll be doing. So let me explain now what GitHub Actions really does. What it does, first of all, you have to understand that GitHub Actions, it's one of the tools that you can use for CI, meaning continuous integration. That you can also use it for continuous delivery or deployment. So you can use it for continuous deployment as well. So meaning you can use it for any CI, any CD tool. You can use it for several things. It helps you automate. It helps you automate the following. It helps you automate the build process. It helps you automate the test process, and it helps you automate the the deployment process. So you have these building. That's what we're gonna write scripts to automate building, and then in upcoming videos I will do more also on test and then deploy. The CI, when we structure the GitHub Actions, what we need to do, we're gonna do just a few things here. We're gonna do a few things. When you are give me a moment here. So I need to find my things here. So when you when you set up your GitHub Actions, like in our case, what we need to do, remember, under this directory, GitHub, and then the subdirectory, which will be workflows. Here we have to create this script here, this file, and then this will define, it's gonna define our workflow. In our case, it's just gonna be CI, because we are not deploying anything. We're just building something. So that'll be number one. So number one, we have to configure this file here. And then number two, we're gonna have to configure a Docker file. And a Docker file, it's a text file which define how we want to build. So it defines how to build our Docker image. And this Docker image, we build it, and then we can run it, and also we can deploy it. But since this Docker image is going to be a web application, we will need an index HTML file to help us, make it a website, right? So you're gonna need some of the HTML file, and of course you can add some CSS file and other PHP files if you want to make it a little bit more complex. This is a very simple website that we are going to build using Docker, and this is pretty much what we will need to accomplish. First, we're gonna start with the CI YAML file right now. So I'm gonna show you the different components of the file here. I will show you the different component of the file. So what we need on this file is, first of all, so this is a CI file. This is a CI file. About 3 or 4 parts here, but the first one, you're gonna give it a name. Okay. Second part, you're gonna have to talk about the events or the triggers, and then how do you do that? You're gonna use this line here on push, or you can do it on pull request. And for each trigger, you're gonna have to define the specific branch. You're gonna have to define the specific branch where this will happens, right? And then after doing that, these triggers are going to these events will trigger jobs, and the jobs, this is where you have the build, you have the test, you have the deploy, and so on. But the build for each job will need it's gonna need what platform to run on. So that's why you use the runs on, and which could be Ubuntu, it could be Windows, and then so on. Mac OS, I think. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, for each job, you're gonna have to define steps. And then the steps, you use users meaning that it could be an action to check out, or it could be a command to run, or it could be like run command. In our case, we want to run a command, a Docker build command using the Docker file. So this is kind of like, in a nutshell, what you need to know about the CI file, YAML file. Number one, name. Number two, events or triggers. And number three, the jobs. So I'm gonna take you now to the command line, and when we get to the command line, I'll begin writing the YAML file here quick. It's gonna be a little bit fast here. I'll write the YAML file first. So and to make it a little bit faster, what I've done, I have already written my my script here. I'll just copy my script here. This is going to be a very short script here. So when we come here, remember you have to go into your local repository. So I clear my screen, and the ls, there's nothing here, and the first thing to do is to create my directories, which I can do like this would be the GitHub. Okay, so that's one. And then if I ls, you don't see anything, because remember of this, every time you use the dot, you want to hide that file or directories. But if you do this, you can see it here. All right, so now I go into the GitHub and create my workflows. Remember, it's plural here. So I create my workflows, ls, it's there. Then I have to go into that directory, clear my screen. And then if you do this, you see we already now we are now beginning to build our file system here. And this is the place where I'm gonna create my CI YAML file. Remember the extension here, and when you do this, you see it appears here because it's here. And if I click, I can either just use the GUI here, and which I'm gonna do. I'll just copy and paste my code here, which I have already written. I'm gonna paste that here, and I have to make sure that it's okay here. I think I'm missing something here, so I'll paste that there, and that I don't need this. Okay, so what's happening here? You see, we have given it a name. I'm gonna call it Docker image CI. You can call it whatever you want. And then these are the events. See here, these are the events. So every time there is a push to this branch or a pull request from this branch, then it's gonna trigger these jobs. And in this case, we all have one job to build. You select the runner operating system, and it's gonna be Ubuntu latest. And why Ubuntu? Because Docker is already installed on Ubuntu. It saves us time from work, and then the steps. Our steps. What we're gonna do? We're gonna check out, meaning that we go into that. So we check out a Git repository at the particular version, and then when we do that, after doing that, next we will run this command. And what this command will do, it's gonna look for the Docker file, which we need to create now. So I'm gonna just do this and type in Docker file. and I need also the script for my Docker file, which I have already written here. I'm gonna clear my screen and I'll get it here. So I'm gonna just copy and paste to save time instead of typing it. What the script will do here, it's gonna first create a directory, okay? And we use the -p in Linux to say that you can create a parent, a child, and a grandchild directory. So that's what it's gonna do. It's gonna create user directory, and then under that it creates a share, and a share it goes to the Nginx, and then actually what it's gonna do, these are already created, okay? But we're gonna create the HTML directory, because this is where all of our website contents are going to reside. And then after doing that, we'll copy our index HTML file to that into that directory. After we copy, we expose our website so that everybody can access our website, all right? If we make it that way, meaning that we need this index HTML. So I go here and I create my index HTML. And then after doing that, I'm gonna, I need to get the code here. And again, I don't want to write it. It's a short and simple script here. This is how we write an HTML code for a website. The title will be T2S website, and then we don't have we don't have any header or heading, or we do have this one, number 1 H1, which is gonna say hello from here, but this will be part of the body, okay? Then this is to close the entire, we open everything here, HTML, then we have to close it. So that's the entire script. But for the body component or section, you begin with the body, and then you close, always close with this /. So that's and then the head, you do the same here. You start with this one here, and then you /, meaning that this is the head. It's closed. It's enclosed. It's in a bracket, or it's a block. All right. And always you like for all of the scripting languages, every time you indent something like here, it means that meta belongs to this block here. And you do the same with the body, meaning that this belongs to the body. So that's kind of like a hierarchy and how you define it. So we have this, and we should be set. What we need to do next is to go back to the website and then use these commands here. And in our case, we will not create the README file. We will just first initialize our workflow or our repository here. So I'm gonna clear my screen, and we don't need that. So next, what we want to do, we're gonna have to stage everything here. Add and stage, and then we're gonna have to commit. We're gonna have to commit here, and then a message. We'll call it first commit. After we do that, we will, and again, use the git branch, this command here, so that we only work using this name main branch, which is also what we find on our remote repository. So the next thing that we have to do is to make sure that we can now copy the demo. Let me see here. T2S demo project. That's the same name. Yeah, we should be okay here. So we add this remote repo into our environment, and what we do next is finally push this. So we're gonna have to push, and this is what you see. If you go back, this is what I've done. Okay, I was showing you the wrong thing here. So I have committed that. I have defined a branch where we will eventually push our content here, and now we've done it. You're gonna see this. Next, you go to your Git repository. But what I need to do now is to go back to my repository here, and I'm gonna refresh my screen, and everything should look okay now. So this is the structure that you want to see also on GitHub. It should be also vary. If you do this, you have you see here you have the directory GitHub, and then a child directory. Then you have the CI YAML file here. You have Docker file and the index. Okay, I was showing the wrong thing here. And you also have the index. You have the index. Excuse me here. So you have the index HTML file, your Docker file, and so on. So you have this, and on your command line, you should see pretty much the same thing. If you ls-a, you're gonna see. Okay, hold on here. You're gonna see you should have this and these two here. Now back to our actions, GitHub Actions here. So we have this, and you need to go here to the actions. You check the actions here. So you're gonna see first commit. This is the first commit that we did by using git commit, and then you have -m and the message. So you click here, you're gonna see it's built, and it says success here. And what you can do, you can rerun your jobs here, and then you have if you wanna see the workflow run options there, you have the options to do that. If you click here on the build, you see this here, like your workflow. So first you set up what your process did was to set up a job here, and these are the things that it did: running run an image, provisioner, GitHub token, and so on. And then it went to run the actions. Here are the actions: initializing the repository, setting up auth, fetching the repository, and so on. Then it went to building the Docker image. Run Docker build. This remember, this was part of our CI YAML file, and it got done here after 0.0 seconds. What? Okay, and then it went on to do all of these here. So it went to the repo to get the image. You see, from our Docker file, we specified the image, right? So we specify the image. You see here, this is where we go get our image, and that's the build. Then it went to post run here, and then it here complete job, cleaning up orphan processes, and so on. So you can add more to our, we can add more to our code here. If you want to do more, you just go here. You can change this here by adding like deploy. You know, we have built our Docker image. We can also deploy it to ECS, Elastic Container Service on AWS, or any other repository like Docker Hub and so on. So you can do that, and that could be a video. I was just about to say a movie, not a movie, but a video for the next opportunity. So yeah, this is all about GitHub Actions, how you can set it up, configure it, and then use it to automate building, to automate build, test, and deploy processes and steps. So thank you so much. And again, my name is Emmanuel. Remember, do not forget to subscribe or like the video, even comment, and I would truly appreciate that. Thanks. God bless. I'll see you in the next one.